What's up, guys? This is Attention Ninja, and I got a video for today. Normally, I don't do these videos because it's not exactly popping off. The guy isn't really claiming to be the leader, but he's talking about like punishments basically. And so, this is kind of in my domain because I tend to tell you what's like not necessarily what's right, but I'm a firm believer of telling people what's wrong. Basically, like don't do this because it leads to that, and that you don't want, right? It's a simple idea. But as far as doing things, whatever, I don't care. Like, go ahead, believe what you want, do what you want, say what you want, feel what you want, act the way you want. Just know that this is an outcome and it can happen, and you need to be aware of that, right? Like, if you want to date, understand that guys are not the ones like you see on TV. It's guys that are pretending to be that way until they have your obedience and they abuse you. And so, like, I try to, anyways. Again, example, but it's an example that we all understand. That's why I use it. Nothing beyond that. Though there are people that have taken psychology at some point in their lives and they think, oh, I know this and he's talking about that, so that means no. Much like that one dude who would say, like, oh, the reason why you love your mother or whatever, like, the reason why he used it, that as a concept, wasn't because he was obsessed with his mother, though I can't really say for sure because I don't know enough about him. But it was an idea that we all understand, right? It would be like me talking to you about perros, right? It tells a perro. What the hell? I don't know what the hell. Perro is just Spanish for the word dog, basically, right? But the point is, until I told you, you had no idea. Then the idea is, if I went on and talked about perro when you didn't know, you would have no idea what I was talking about. And so I broke it down and used, like your mother, for example, because we all have a mother. We all know what a mother is, right? So, anyways, boom. Now, I don't know why this was shown to me, but it has 120,000 views. And he only has like 1.7k subscribers. But, yeah. Make sure it's fit properly real quick. There you go.
Alright, guys. I've got a bit of a story for you.
No, you don't.
So, the story that I have for you today
Okay,
is about Mario Maker. Mario
cool.
Maker is not exactly a game that I've really played for the past year. I think the last time I really opened it up and played it even a little was maybe like 6 months ago, right? So, this Sunday, someone at work had mentioned the game as
Real quick.
this Sunday, maybe like 6 months ago, right? So, this Sunday, this
That seemed like it was written into the script. That didn't seem like an authentic gesture. Like you knew that you were gonna say, "Oh, this Sunday. Oh, well, this Monday. Oh, whatever you did." It seemed not real, but anyways.
Sunday, someone at work had mentioned the game, asking about if I still played it. And I was like, "Oh, not really. I used to make stuff on it, but I really don't mess with it anymore." Right?
Cool.
And then it got me thinking about the game, so I loaded it up on the following Monday, the very next day. So I load up Mario Maker on Monday, and I'm greeted with something when I load up. You know what I got? A notification. Well, there's actually a lot of notifications of people played my levels. People.
So again, he hasn't played for 6 months. Okay, that was the thing really that kind of made this kind of weird, because this guy is acting or reacting as if he just one day was on it, like Mario Maker. He was playing it regularly, and one day he logged in and had this notification, but he hasn't played for 6 months. The two are not the same. You understand?
People beat my world record, so on and so forth, right? All kinds of notifications. But then I get to my list of levels, and I run into a different notification. This is like a notification I've never seen before, right? I'm gonna put up on screen real quick one such example, right? So here is roughly the notification that I got. For this one, it was a course titled "Sucker for Pain," and it stated, "This course has been deleted because it contained content that was identified as a bug in the game. See the Nintendo Code of Conduct in the Nintendo Account User Agreement for more information." I thought, my gosh, that's weird. I don't really have. I don't really use bugs in my level. Well, there is one that I have a bug
I don't really use bugs, but then check out the video he shows you.
in. I suppose, yeah, actually. And I was surprised it hadn't gotten taken down, but I don't know why this one got taken down.
So it went from I don't use bugs to I'm surprised my video is still up. I, you see the inconsistency.
I thought that was rather weird. But so I click A through it and I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't really care so much about that level. I think that one took me maybe a few hours to make at most. And then it was almost no time to upload it. So really not too worried about it, right? But then I press A. You know what happens? There's another one. There's another one.
Cool.
But it's not even just that. There was more.
Again, this would mean a lot more if you're playing every day and you woke up to this. But it's been 6 months, as you said, so that's not too shocking. Like, that would be what most of us saw if it told you about every patch on the way to the recent one, from when the game was announced to the game today. If it gave you a notification for every patch along the way, everybody in the world would get these messages. So it's not too shocking, basically. Especially since it's an older game, as you say, as he shows you.
There was 8 levels that got removed.
And
I
even if it wasn't an older game, it's the fact that they are like emails, basically. It's not a notification. It's you get an email every time they happened, and he just has 10 of them. It's like, so what? Big deal. Okay, it'd be different if it was just like an updated email and there was 10 of those. Then you'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? But again, like, there's nothing you should be excited about here.
Thought, man, that's really weird. They must
Not really.
have thought there was a lot of like bug abuse in my levels, but like really, there's only one that I thought should have gotten removed for it having.
And for the record, I didn't see most of this video. I've only seen up to a certain point. But he's like, wow, what the fuck? I got a lot of notifications, but the only one video that, yeah, like, sure, there's exploits. Like, literally, his radar inside is not working, basically.
An
His mole compass, if you will.
exploit, which was actually this one that did get removed. It did get removed, which I'm going to show that one real quick, just because I think that's a neat level. But I'm going to show that real quick, and then we'll get back on topic, right? So let's jump over to our Mario Maker. And jump over, I want to know, force
Okay,
spot
so,
real quick.
real quick.
That's not the level,
I
right?
forgot.
So let's
I'll just get the level playing, but this stuff you can watch is fine.
jump over to our Mario Maker real quick.
Mario Maker 2. I'm curious. Because this actually might be a recent game. I have no fucking idea. But that's what we're going to find out. When was the game Mario Maker 2 made? 2019. Okay, that's an older game. This video is 3 days ago. Okay.
Jump over here. That's not the level. Don't worry. We're gonna jump over into CourseBot real quick.
New notifications are received. Would you like to view them? You see, like,
Gosh, do I even want to know? Tell me something got removed.
that's all it is. Right. A world record. Cool. Played your course, played your course, played your course. Cool. Like, it's, you know.
Okay, God, it's just notifications. I'm hoping. All right, one sec. Let's show this level real quick. I'll cut ahead to once I find it. Okay, so this one wholeheartedly should have gotten removed, and it did. This
So he went from, again, when, you, I don't understand, why would you, to, yeah, this one definitely needed to be banned.
one was the floor is sometimes lava. Because the floor is sometimes lava in this level, it is not always lava. Very interesting level. It makes use of a glitch that has to do with the vine blocks instead of mushroom platforms, right? All of these are mushroom platforms. There's nothing different about them, but I can stand on this one. If you'll notice, you can't stand on that one. And can we stand on that one? Yes, we can. We can tell because
You don't know this. You have to have the understanding of mechanics, basically. And this is what made it an exploit, because, like, it's a mechanic that it's not intended to be. You understand? That's why it was flagged and probably why it was removed, because things are working how they're not intended to work, and that's all it was.
I give a fire lava to us.
So this is what I want to skip.
That is bug abuse. That is a glitch. That is an exploit. So
Right. So my point is, if you felt that way about that, why would you be like, oh, what the fuck? Why would you ever? Like, it's stupid.
that should have gotten removed, and it was, and that's absolutely
Cool.
appropriate, right?
Cool.
But a lot of these levels that got removed, they weren't, as far as I'm aware, they're not bug exploits, right? Let's look into it. It's interesting. Almost all of the levels that got removed, from what I was looking at, they all seem to share one same thing. The same thing is a similar setup to each other, which we're going to jump back over to the other scene real quick. So I'm going to show you exactly what it is, right? Because you can still make this, right? We're going to go to Course Maker, right? We're going to clear all this and just full reset, right? It is a fresh level. There's nothing in here, right?
Super Mario Maker, Mario Maker, Mario Maker, Mario Maker.
So, super easy. The setup is as follows, right? We just take a spike block as such, and we take a ground block as such, right? So, now we have an area that we hypothetically can't really get into. Is our problem is this little gap, because no matter how small we jump, we're always going to hit that spike. It looks
By the way, there are haters in the world, again, gammas that pretend to be alpha, basically. And they will, what they do is they hold people under so that they appear bigger than they actually are. They need to do that to, again, be able to claim the alpha status. Like Tyler 1, for example, I need to make shit and make fun of you because I don't have my own merit. And that's why the world sucks today, by the way. But you'll notice he blocked the whole thing, right? As a scientist-minded person, I can appreciate the completeness. Like, no, you can't get around it. You can't, right? What he's saying is this is full proof. What I'm saying, and there's no room for error here, and there's no room for bullshit, no cheeses, and blah blah blah. So I respect it in that sense, right? But again, there are people that be like, oh, you're the beta, why'd you put it in your video? It's because there's no bitches like you that will try to call him out either way. So that's, and it sucks to have to point this out, but I've been doing it, or I haven't been doing it rather, for a very long time. And the world is about to fucking, we're about to become Nazi Germany, basically, as a result. So I'm stopping that, you know what I'm saying? I'm calling it out now, because you can't fucking handle yourself. So daddy's home, basically, right?
Looks like it's close some of these times, but it will
Or like in The Lion King, The Return of the King, I think someone said in my chat one time, it's cool.
always hit that spike is the problem there. But there's something I found a long time ago, which is that if you do this little hop hop movement here, you can get through that, right? Hop, and then immediately following hop hop.
Nice.
So that is what I've deemed the buffer jump, right? Which I know it sounds dumb for me to say I've deemed it as that because, you know, the community knows about this trick and it's been
That's fine. You can do that. If you invented a move that you've never seen before, go for it. But if you're seeing, or if you're doing a move that is well known, then you'll buffer jump. It goes, and then now somebody else is there first. That's what alpha is, right? It's being the first, like the person that got to put your flag there first. You know,
around forever, right?
that's the sense of competition. Basically, that's the whole thrill of being the one. Like, I'm the one, and that's why losses matter to me in League of Legends, even though it's literally built to basically um, make it to where you only win 55% of your games. You can actually be really fucking good, but you're still gonna lose 45% of your games. See what I mean? So,
It's been around since about 2019, which, fun fact with that, I believe I have the first ever time that was seen in a level. I think I have the original level that has used this trick, which is Heroic Plumber versus one Spiky Boy. You'll notice that I don't have the ability to upload this level. On the very top of that, there is a bit of a circle. Here, let me try and outline it real quick. Let me pull up my little drawing bit here. If you look right here, this is outlined with a little motion right there saying you cannot upload this level. Whereas some of the other levels, they've got no such thing right here. It is not outlined in the same way, right? So this level, it uses a
so your explanation is garbage, which is fine. But like, you should. Anyways, it's fine.
exactly that trick. Mind you, you'll notice that I cannot upload this level. It is grayed out because this is one of the ones that got removed. You cannot upload this course because it's identical to a course that was deleted on the server side, right? So I can't upload this level, which means it was deleted for having some kind of bug. Let's go and delve into it and see what kind of bug exploits I've been up to. So if you look at this level, my gosh, it is just that jump, isn't it? It's just that jump. It's just a buffer jump. That's all it is, right? So hard to input, right? My gosh, look at that glitched level we've just done. So, this level got removed as
The reason why is because not everybody knows that. It's like you have to learn my language in order to play the game, and people don't want to. They don't want you to do that. Basically, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is probably a good idea. Like in the grand scheme of things, this is what I see it as. But maybe that's not the case, and they just don't like it because you're like a Bernie Sanders or like myself, and it's like, oh, this is original and this is unique and this wasn't us, so banned. But if this was original and unique and it was us promoted, you know what I'm saying? So
As something that is heinous, so bad, cannot exist in the servers. This is from all the way back in, if we look at it, this is from 2019, late 2019, right? This is actually, I think, just a few months after the game came out. I want to say about 3 months after, if I'm remembering right off the top of my head. It's, I think, like 3-4 months, right? So, level got removed, and this one I think is the one that really, like, set it off of, okay, so if this one got removed, that kind of makes sense, because I know that this one, buffer jumping skill check, got removed. This is a skill check to test your ability to do buffer jumps. So now we have 2 instances of buffer jump removed. But wait, this one screen basic Kaizo also had a buffer jump. And then Sucker for Pain had a buffer jump. This one right here was notably removed for a different bug. But again, everything else was removed for having buffer jumps, which I think is interesting. So I guess we're calling that a
Why?
bug, right? That jump that you very clearly can input
it's an exploit, yes.
consistently. So my thoughts are, I think they maybe, like, there's people who are using a bug to do that same effect. If you know what I mean, they were using a bug or an exploit to get into that same through a narrow gap, and that now that setup is triggering it and flagging it as a hacked level or something of that nature, right? So the levels got removed. That was Monday morning that I saw it. Right now we're on Thursday. So the levels get removed. I'm like, man, that's weird. So I built up the setup real quick, just like you saw a moment ago, and I was like, okay, so maybe they must have.
So real quick, this is why I love videos for watching and learning, because while I was watching the video, I wasn't really paying attention to him, and I had an intrusive thought. And I started thinking that thought out and not paying attention to him. And this is what happened in school a lot of the time, right? And so I end up not doing well in school because I didn't care about half the shit they're talking about because I was bored, right? The teachers sucked. They're shitty at their job. Or maybe I was a bad student. Who knows, right? That may be true. But anyways, the point is, the video I can go back if needed. Whereas in school I got punished, and so my punishment was way worse. And that's fine and dandy, but you understand that removes alphas from the world. It turns you into an obedient soldier. To pay attention, or you get the basically off with your head. Essentially, is what happens. Either shut up, either put up and shut up, or we're going to remove you. Those are your options in school. There's no, oh, you're not paying attention, it's okay. There's no working with you and blah blah blah. That's why I think I was very lucky. I graduated from Success. Basically, we called Success, or somebody in our class called Success, an opportunity for lazy smart people. And it's not that we're lazy, or some of us weren't lazy, right? It's just that, I mean, that, don't get me wrong, that is true. I didn't want to do the work. But the point is, we had other things to do. And so we chose to do those, basically. And if it was like, oh, well, what's your other thing? Oh, I want to watch paint dry. Then, yeah, of course, your kid's fucked up. And chances are you should, like, smack him in the head and, like, pay fucking attention, you fucking idiot. But if you're like, I'm trying to figure out the theoretical physics and science about, like, all this other crazy ass fucking intelligent educational shit, you know what I'm saying? But he's just bored because of what's going on. You may have something else, but the problem is we won't know because we're killing it or ruining it, right? And that's what's going on today. So it's actually a good note to put real quick. I'm gonna actually open my handy dandy notepad. Fucking bitch. Let's see. It's fine. We'll get to it. So if you push the Windows button, speak, point out how smart kids and, well, hold on. In success, we had a theme for the class, and we had where it was for lazy smart people. But the thing was, some of us weren't lazy. Some of us were just busy thinking of other stuff that could be compelling or scientific in nature that would require a full thought process, and that's above the class level. And that's where our mind is. And it's actually justification for my asshole test, basically, to find out if you're paying attention or not, right? It actually makes sense. And the problem is that we're losing smart people because we lack the asshole test. Um, like Einstein, for example, wouldn't exist today because the system would remove him from existing and he wouldn't be allowed to wonder and to wander around the arena that is your mind. Basically, it's either you do this or you don't. That's what it was. Either you pay attention or we ban you into the shadow realm, right? That was your choice. There's no room for Einstein to exist there. There's no opportunity to wonder, right? And I will say he probably was who he was because he was able to get out of the system, basically, and able to just kind of do what he wanted to do on his own, and that's why he did so well. But we don't talk about that, and we don't promote that, and that's why our world sucks, and why our leaders suck, and why we have dogs all over the place, and why everyone sucks, and why everyone's terrible, and why shit's gone bad, right? And it's not so much that everyone needs to pay attention or that everyone is ADD or everyone gets their own teacher. It's, yes, there are some people like, okay, based on your grades, you go here, you go here. You know what I'm saying? Based on your grades, you go here, you go here. That's what it should be. That can be weaponized too, don't get me wrong. Alright, based on your grades, you go here, you go here. In reality, what the person did was sent all the boys over here and all the girls over here, and then from there he went all the girls that would put out, then he put them in a class versus all the girls that won't put out, and he puts them in a different class, and he sets himself up with a class of girls that will put out. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But anyways,
removed buffer jumps from the game, because when they find something like that they consider or deem a bug, they normally remove whatever that bug is, or they don't let you.
and what happened just now in the video is a perfect example. Like, what I'm learning about right now, that's fine. What I'm taking in, that's fine. But I can't do that and have the side note at the same time. You understand? That's what I'm saying. And that's why the world sucks, is because I can't have that side note, basically. And that's where the Einsteins exist. That side note that can't happen, that's where they are. And we're removing them from the equation by saying either pay attention or we're going to send you to the shadow realm, basically, right? That's what we're doing. And we don't realize that. Unfortunately for me, I had an alternative. I had a mom who put me in success, and lazy smart people, or the asshole test, and so forth and so on. Um, but yeah, like unfortunately, there was a broken system because there was enough people paying attention, or people smart enough or aware enough to see what was going on. But that was, anyways. Um, yeah, we need to get more people, but they're afraid of having more people because more people means more of this and blah blah blah. And
You
anyways,
upload a level that contains that, right? But that's not the case here. You absolutely can still upload those levels. It does not bar you from doing so. If I tried to remake The Floor is Sometimes Lava, the one right here that got removed, that would not let me. It would find exactly what I'm doing to make that effect with the mushroom platforms happen. It would prevent me from uploading the level. That is exactly what occurs, right?
so they know how to create the bug, and that people that are trying to do the same process, they detect it by auto means, and it's not allowed. So what?
So, it's very strange. If it's being deemed a bug, maybe whatever it was that was a bug has been removed or fixed, but it's still there. So, I got a funny idea. So, I was talking to my community on it.
This is what happens when you allow a beta to exist as an alpha for long enough. Is eventually a gamma, I should say. Eventually, that gamma will actually learn, and like this is all like basic level stuff that an alpha already knows. The problem with alpha, like I said, they're removed or they're turned into like either your dominating force that goes to prison or you're a bitch, and that's basically your choices, right? But what we're seeing right now is he is a bitch, basically. Like, no offense, I'm not trying to be mean, it's just how I talk. But the point is, he thinks he's an alpha for discovering something, but me, as I'm not a bitch, I'm an alpha, and I just had a good mom, and the system worked. I should be in prison. I should be dead, basically, right? But because I had a good mother, and I have a good sister, and I had a good family, a good upbringing, because people loved me, basically. But because the system's so fucked up, my life is still hell, basically, right? And this is the problem with the world, right? But I had a good family, right? I had a good upbringing, essentially. And this is excluding the fact that my mom was bipolar. So at the same time, I had the best upbringing. I also had the worst upbringing. But anyways, the point is, he was a gamma. He is a gamma, but he was able to live the life of an alpha for so long that he's figuring out stuff that he didn't know, but an alpha knew, right? And he's talking about like, wow, this is so amazing, it's so creative, it's so wonderful. Like, whoa, what the fuck? I didn't know this. And Alpha's like, no shit, you dumbass. What the fuck are you talking about? Duh. You know what I'm saying? But again, that guy is removed, or he's what's called hired by the right or the left to promote their message, and that's kind of what the world is, basically.
After I found it as that's
So the only reason why he's able to do what he's doing is because he's a bitch and he flew under the radar, much like how I point out in my document that I call Downfall of America. At the very end of the document, I point out in nature there is a squid that will hide its penis to trick other males that are fighting for dominance or in society. I should actually add this. Or in society, removed from the game in some in some way into not looking uh let's see uh I should okay, that's why I was like, why doesn't it sound right, why doesn't it feel right? It's because I put this note. In nature, there's a squid that'll hide its penis to trick other males that are fighting for dominance into not looking or noticing it. And this is where I put it. Or in society to remove the game in some way, and while it's happening, the fakers, the penile hiders, runs in to the females and begins to mate with them. False alphas. Not alpacas, alphas. No. And this is why the world sucks. That is why the world sucks, and there it is. You're seeing it firsthand. I'm completely right. So,
That's
anyways,
what I think the issue is. And so I went to bed. And I got up in the morning. We're talking Tuesday morning. And I thought to myself, you know what'd be funny? It'd be really funny, I think.
he's gonna say something. I just realized that's what Destiny does. Basically, it's Destiny is the king of punching down. That's what he does. That's why every time he watches videos, he was pausing. He's like, "Oh, well, I think what's gonna happen is," and it's like, "No, no, that's not what's like. Stop it. Like we're equals. We're supposedly equals here. We're trying to predict what I'm gonna say. When you're watching Trump, sure. When you're watching somebody that is supposedly on the a beta, basically, or a cuck, or a gamma, if you will, um, then sure. But when we're equals, shut the fuck up, you little bitch. You know what I'm saying?
If I talked to Nintendo. Because, like, I could contact Nintendo about this. There'd be no reason to, because there's no reason, or sorry, not no reason. There's zero likelihood that they would reinstate these levels, right? But it'd be funny if I tried to get them reinstated, because, like, realistically, what were the levels removed for? It says a bug,
Real
right?
quick, side note.
But it'd be funny if I tried to get them reinstated.
That right there, opiate abuse, or some form of upper, basically. He's not doing anything. It's just he's tweaking. That's what that is. As in you rub your face, or you have like a little tickle that bothers you. So he suggests he do this all the time. He rubs his nose because they're high, basically. Or you hear them do this. It's because they're high, basically, right? And yes, it can happen. Normally, they have been running for like 4 hours before they got there, or they get really worked up. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, and they're barking, yelling, screaming, and they're really motivated, and emotional. But when you're just sitting there doing nothing and you're doing these things, right? Like if you're doing stuff like that, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways,
Because, like, realistically,
speaking of the smell, by the way, I didn't realize that.
but it'd be funny if I tried to get them reinstated.
Listen.
Because, like, realistically,
That nose inhale, that's what they do too.
what were the levels removed for? It says a bug exploit. But
And again, if you're educated or not educated, but if you're hyper or if you're activated, basically, like if you have the intensity, your testosterone and all that shit's running, it's away, right? You can be carried away, you can, and blah blah blah, you think or doing or whatever, but when there's no reason for it and you're doing it anyways, that's a sign, you know what I'm saying? Like Trump when he was on stage talking to Hillary Clinton. It's uppers, right? That's all it is. He's hella fucking high. You like a guy on drugs, grats.
was that a bug exploit? Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe. But I don't see it as one. At least
Okay.
from my perspective, my opinion, right? So, I figured, what's the worst that could happen? Let's talk to Nintendo.
Let's be an adult. or an active member of the community and reach out. A gamma faking being an alpha is actually becoming one. Good job. So what? You reached out. Kids do that. Mom, I don't want to do my homework right now. That's all that is. That's literally all that is. So,
and see what Nintendo has to say on this matter, right?
that's
All right,
fine.
so I load up the Nintendo website and I find their contact us option, and it takes me through a bit of automated chat thing that I assume is AI or some kind of automation of some kind, right? And it makes it very clear that that's what's going on, and then eventually it realizes it can't help me, so it directs me over to a person, which fantastic, right? Exactly what you want to see. It sends me over to someone named Grethel, which I think Grethel is an interesting name. Maybe I'd use that for a D&D character sometime, right? But it doesn't
He plays D&D, of course he does.
spark hope that it is a real person, especially off the bat. Let's start our conversation with Grethel. So we get in our Nintendo support chat with Grethel. He hits me with, or she, they hit me with,
Real quick, I've been talking for 41 minutes. This video is 13. Or I played 13 minutes of your video thus far. If this isn't considered transformative, go fuck yourself.
thank you for contacting Nintendo. My name is Grethel. How can I help you today? So I go, hey,
Right, and these are convos that happen all the time with an alpha. Basically, again, I'm talking to mom, I'm talking to dad, I'm talking to this person. I'm talking. Sorry, you were too afraid, like a little gamma, to say anything, and I'm sorry you feel you needed a pat on the back to talk to a moderator for once in your fucking sad life. But what the fuck?
hey there, Grethel. Thanks for helping me today. I'm experiencing an issue with my game Mario Maker 2, which because at this point he doesn't know or they don't know what my issue is. I'm going to assume it's a he just to
Again, this is what happens when gammas. You are allowing them to exist for long enough. Like, you are exactly what they want, basically. You will sit around and suck all day. Meanwhile, they get paid billions of dollars to sit there and scratch their asshole. And you just sit there and like, I'm such a man, look at me go. This is so cool. I'm an alpha. I'm an alpha, guys. Like, meanwhile, the people who actually would be leading this world, again, removed from the equation or in prison or like, and again, like my whole school career, either you obey and you become a soldier in our army of whatever the fuck we say, or support room. Fortunately, I graduated from the support room, so
make my vocabulary easier going forward. So he doesn't know what's going on off the bat, and it's an all-around Nintendo support chat. This isn't just one for Mario Maker, right? It is just all of Nintendo. So, with that, I let him know, hey, I'm having an issue with Mario
I'm a beta. I'm a gamma. This is the first time at boobies. Yeah.
Maker 2, right?
So
He goes,
sad.
hi, John. I'm sorry to hear that you're having issues with this, but I'll be more than happy to help assist and get into a resolution to this. Please be aware that I'll be asking you some question through our interaction. I was like, okay, that's fine. All right. There's some interesting grammar here, which
I want to say this kind of reminds me because I've been playing League of Legends and I've been playing versus bots, and basically I need to be more aggressive and more assertive. But it sucks because I literally am one with the team, basically. And I think that this is, well, and I was playing a champion. I was kind of hoping that this person I was with would do better, but he didn't. And so more fell on me, and I couldn't do it. But anyways, point is, I should be more confident because you are what I'm going against. And literally, I was afraid of a new deer, and I was like, "What the fuck is he building? What the hell are they doing?" Like, I looked at their items, and I assumed that they were as good as the bots, or that they're as good as me. You know what I'm saying? That was one thing, that one problem I had with my childhood and my life was I assumed people were at least as good as me and then better from then on. I assumed that I was not necessarily insecure. I mean, kind of, you could say that, but it's that I felt that the world was good, basically. It's that I had confidence in other people. And so much that I felt like the king, right? It's that I felt that everybody was up to this level, like we should be. But no, I look and I realize when I talk, I'm like, it is lonely at the top. I should play my video games the same fucking way. Like I really should. So that's
Which
the
makes me
idea.
think that I might be speaking to someone who's maybe not necessarily a native English speaker.
And just because I encounter some high level bullshit, fucking organized team bullshit, I shouldn't let that get. Anyways,
Right?
I get it. I
Which,
get it. Cool, cool, cool.
in that instance, it does lean me towards believing off the bat that maybe it's not AI, right? I think that it would have the sentence structure would have been different if it were AI. So it puts
I really don't like this. This is literally a gamma trying to be a man, and he's
me
not.
off to a we're deleted
We're
for
gonna skip. Let's see. It's too far. Oh god damn it.
right, that technical trick, which the level heroic plumber versus one spiky boy simply implemented that trick twice in a row, which I showed you that level at this point already. We continue. Having these, I send Grethel a video. I go, crop out a little bit here. I will escalate this ticket if possible. Speak to a native, but I figure for the bit, I've got to call Nintendo, right? Spend like an hour, 8 hours of a time of creating the 8 levels that were removed. Not even
So like this one time, I like went to this bar, right? And so like I went to the front where like there's this lady, some stupid lady, and like for some reason every time I gave her money, she would give me drinks. Like what the fuck are you doing? It's just money. She's giving me drinks for my money. How fucking stupid, right? Am I right? And so we're eating, we're talking, we're drinking, we're talking, we're chilling, having fun, and she's talking to us. We're talking to her. We have a great time. It's wonderful. I'm like, this is so weird. She's following us to this bar and she's giving us drinks for money, ha ha. And like we just met her and she happened to be here, of course. And then we asked her, "Do you have any food?" And she said, "Sure, we'll give you food. You want some?" And for some reason, it was a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but we gave it to her because we're like, what the fuck? It's a bar. Who cares? Like, who the like they don't have steak here, but they did. And we paid like $50 for like a $10 steak for no reason, but we did. Oh my god, you're such a bad. Ha ha. You went to a bar and you drank. That's what this is. That's all I'm saying so far. Congratulations, you contacted a worker at some place about an issue and you talked to them, you had a debate, and potentially what I'm thinking you're gonna have said is we had a debate, they seen that they made an error and they corrected their error and that was it. But you're making a big deal about it because you're a fucking gamma and this is the first time you like your wife tried to cheat on you,
even
stupid
like
ass.
if you go, I Nintendo, but he opted to get save for launch. But as a I'm just sitting here waiting patiently. I'm very nice on the phone, just like yeah, absolutely. I'd like to know how I broke the rule so that I don't break the rule. To see what more information I can give you further. All right. Yeah, Ada. Because she was looking up more information, so I guessed, mind you, I guessed wrong.
You remind me of Neuro. There's this game, or not guy called Nero Zerg, and he plays StarCraft 2. And the point is, he's a little bitch when it comes to aggression. He's a gamma as well, and he pretends to be a man because he can't. And he has muscles and feel like a man because he's very insecure about his existence. Basically, like you're not, because you have a life or whatever, and apparently they've tricked you long enough to. You're a good sheep. Basically, is what I'm trying to tell you. You're a good sheep. No offense. You can be, like around me, it's fine. I can guarantee I'd make you into a man one day because that's what I do. I'm the best alpha in the world. But anyways, the point is, this Nero character is a gamma as well, and he bitches and cries like a Karen, and I call him Susans, basically. That's where they bitch about a game, and I say, "Oh my God, you have aggression. You built one unit and you sent it at my base. You're an all-in cheeser. Oh my God, oh my God, no, I can't. I can't. I'm hyperventilating. It's too much trauma." And so what happens is that StarCraft 2 is like, okay, Susan, okay, calm down. What we'll do for you guys is we'll remove that aggression from the game. So there's no longer a 4 gate before 10 minutes, basically, right? They made it to instead of starting with 4 workers, you start with like 8 or 12 or whatever it was. So the early game aggression is gone. So instead of people like cheesing you, right? And like what they do is the second they start, they build production and then send it, right? Like aggression, we've removed that. So while you're building an economy, instead of building up your economy and aggressive units, you start with an economy. So you both can build aggressive units and go from there, like an adult would. And then you figure it out, and you respond, and you scout, and you're aware, and you're paying attention, and you're good to go, right? But what did he do? He's like, "Thank you for doing this. I'm going to go and be greedy about this and be as greedy as I can and change how I used to be greedy and be even more greedy. And then now I'm pissed off because people are now cheesing me at that level instead." And StarCraft 2 is like, "What the fuck? Can, can we mad? Like, will the Karens, like, will we get blocked? Will Destiny block us from his chat? Like, what will happen? Like, that's what's going on. The betas are taking over. The gammas are taking over. The alphas are no, they're getting sent to prison, basically, and gammas are taking over. And that's what's going on. That's why America fucking sucks. We're seeing it firsthand. Look at this fucking cuck who's fucking proud of talking to I was say moderator, but talking to a basic worker, right? She works at Nintendo and she figured out the rules and regulations. And he called in. He's like, "Hey, I have a question about your rules and regulations." Like, yes, it's a pair of tits. Congratulations. Like, so what? But this is what they want. They want fucking dumbasses like him, like George Carlin, I think it was. They want you stupid. They want you stupid enough, or smart enough rather, to do the job. But then you're a dumbass once you're there, basically, right? Most people don't listen to him because he says a lot of words, right? And they get intimidated. What? It's a book with over 100 pages? I'm not reading that shit. That's most of America, right? And we're just getting downhill rapidly, right? And again, I'm kind of thankful that I had the brain tumor. I'm thankful that I had radiation therapy. I'm thankful that I had the stroke because that's what allowed me to bypass the womanification of a society. Either you're going to prison for being too manly, and then over there you get raped by grizzly bears, by the way. So, oh, you're a man. Oh, you have an opinion. Well, off you go to get raped by grizzly bears. And by the way, we're in contact with these grizzly bears, and we know what the fuck goes and happens at these prisons and shit, depending on who you are and what your offense are and what blah blah blah, right? That's probably why I get targeted by the fucking little girls. They're like, "Hey, look at me! Don't you like me? I'm a little girl and I have like little pepperoni nipples and I'm half naked. I'm trying to make a video saying you love me. Make a video saying you wanna fuck me. I want you nasty." And I get like requests all the time. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I'm saying because I am such an alpha and such a force, and they're trying to shut me down, I get more. You know what I'm saying? I understand the Bernie blackout to a whole new level now. Like, holy shit, I get it, dude. But again, because you're famous, because you have money and wealth and power, they can only do so. It's kind of like what's his name, Jordan Peterson too. They try to shut him down as well. But what the fuck is his name? Has a stream. Um, I can't remember his name. Joseph. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan. That's what it was. But just like Joe Rogan, they tried to shut him down, but the thing is they can't. And the reason why they can't is because he's too big. And like in Destiny, they try to shut him down, but they can't. You know why? Because he's too big. That's what it is. And me, they're trying to say you can't start up. I get no fucking traffic. I get no fucking people. I guarantee a million percent that people would watch me and listen to me, but they don't. You know why? Because the Bernie blackout. That makes sense. They want you to be like him.
It's pulling.
And no offense, no
Yeah, absolutely.
disrespect
Go
to
for
him.
it. Do whatever you gotta
Do,
do.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Do what you gotta do. Be who you want to be. Like, congratulations. But why the fuck are they feeling this way? Why the hell is this going on? It's fine. I want you to come to my world and be an alpha like me. I don't want fucking stupid people. I don't want fucking failures. I want basic workers, right? If you want it to be something, go for it. I want a business, and I eventually want to be replaced and to be displaced by somebody better than me. And I want to be able to go, here's the keys, make sure to lock up when you're done. Good luck. I want that. But there are people in the world, the beta cucks like yourself, no offense, that tried to take that and they found a way to, like Tyler One for example, like I'm ahead, and so I need to hold as many people as I can under so I could stay ahead. Because the second I'm no longer holding other people down, I'll sink and I'll drown because I can't hold up because I have no ability. I'm a clown in sheep's clothing. I blended in. I have these fucking honey muffin mushrooms on my arms. I pretend that the muscles are actually just injections from a farm somewhere, right? And I try to intimidate and threaten like a bully. Basically, that's all he is a big bully. But he's really nothing. He's incompetent. I had a fucking stroke. I'm at least as good as him, as far as what he does. Basically, like mechanically, we're equal. I had a stroke, and yet, what are you? Like, what the fuck? It's sad. Mechanically, intellectually, I'm leagues above him. But anyways,
uh, she asked me when the levels were removed. Put up on that level. Never say how to beat the level, and I don't leave a comment in my levels saying how to beat the levels. I should full statement is wrong, right? Because this says that it was identified as a bug in the game and that I need to review the code of conduct. Well, and I go, well, I mean, it's that level that you showed. And I go exploit in that level that you showed.
we're gonna watch.
And I go, well, I mean, it's just a jump, right? Like, it was just jumping under the spike. So like,
And again, this is fine. Do what you want, but I'm saying, why is he like he has way more of an audience than me? He has way more watchers than me. He gets way more attention than me. Basically, this is what they want. This is like the ground level. Like he is doing the right thing, by the way. He's trying to be a good boy, basically. He isn't resorting to being a bully or being an ass or punching down. He's calling in, talking to mods, and he's talking to certified workers, as you should. But Tyler One is like, hey, this one kid in the back, I beat him up, we'll post a video about it. Haha, yeah. Like, and for some reason that pops off. Like, what the fuck, people? What the fuck are you doing? Like, that's why America sucks. You understand? Yes, I would have him on my team. Fuck it, let's go. You get to play my fucking AD. I'll be able to support you. Let's go. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Right? I don't know. Mechanically, he may be a fucking gifted god. Who knows? Right? Clearly, he needs help intellectually. He probably had some brain situation like me, or like myself. But the point is, like, there's a reason why he's able to slip by, and he's not in prison, and that's probably why.
Like what
And maybe it was something before, and this is what he is after. I don't know.
possible current team my level can see right one eye, and she goes, yeah, I can escalate you further. One super what's that date on there? My gosh, 2019. That the or been reported for, and he basically I can see he say direct point that they were deleted, and asking them and did as well as I would confirm. But as far as I can tell, they don't violate anything of the game rules as for why they were his nothing of the levels. Carl Maker fair take, right? So right, as I still have their saved data and their west, but it's in the hierarchy of getting bounced around Nintendo, up a supervisor to another supervisor, and he says it is pretty much as high as you go. Like, nobody else is gonna be able to see any information more than I can see right here on all of your accounts. It's like, okay, fair enough, right? And he can't see why it got removed. So I basically, as far as I can again. So he doesn't see why they would like it's account. He'll take it because this guy probably he's like third tier up into supervising. Upload, move my course because course information from the server go move, but I could clear check it right. Block. I learn over 200 in the next because let's grab really into that.
So basically,
higher level again.
Basically, I sent a ticket in. I think I'm on the fourth ticket now. There's been many going in back every day. It's a new post. There's one message a day for some fucking stupid, ignorant bullshit reason, but that's what it is. And so I think there's like 15 on number one, and then like 10 on number two, 4 on number three, and like 2 on number four, basically, right? Like how many times we went back and forth. And so with me talking to Riot for League of Legends, right? What had happened was I actually had champions that I owned, basically on League of Legends. Okay. For some reason, I don't own them anymore. Basically, there's like 5 of them that I can think of. Like on the top, off the top of my head, there's at least 5 that I should have that I know about off the top of my head. I think there's 5, at least 4. I'm 100% sure of. The 5th one I'm kind of shaky on, but there may be more. I don't know. I don't really care. It's whatever. But I know there should be at least 4, maybe a 5th, right? The point is, we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and they sent me Shen. I now have my Shen back. Now I need to get the other 3, and possibly the 4th, and we'll see that's updated. But you don't hear me talking about it, right? You don't hear me posting about it. You don't hear me communicating about it. What is it? Another instance of Nintendo being like, you're reviewing fun, you're having fun the wrong way. Like, I don't get it. Like, no one's saying anything bad or toxic or negative. Like, this is good, proper traffic. This is how it should be. Right? 120,000. Even I seen it at this point, right? And the point is, I get nothing of the sort. And the only videos of mine that do well is when I say somebody by name. Like when I make a video at Destiny. And so the problem is I'm attacking Destiny and saying he's a beta or a cuck or a gamma or whatever, right? And so people are like, oh well, don't say bad stuff about Destiny, and then they hate all like down thumbs down my video. They watch like 2 minutes of my content, like, oh, you fucking suck, or you're stupid, or you misspelled the word A, like whatever, fucking stupid bullshit, and they hate upon it, and they walk away and they leave, and then like, where's the traffic? Like, what's going on? I'm in a fucking Bernie Sanders black hole. Like, literally, I've been shadow banned on League of Legends. I'm sorry, on YouTube. On Twitch, it's even worse. Like, I get 0 people that come by. The only people that come by are bots. That's literally it. And they every 2 days they get one subscription. I stream every day, and I have been for the last like 2 months, and sometimes for 8 hours a day, and I'm not getting shit. All right, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, I gotta go because my internet's not my internet, but what's it called, my data. I think it's gonna expire soon. So be well, be happy, be safe, be awesome. God bless, Godspeed. God love, much life. Praise Allah, praise Yevon, praise Buddha, praise the handkerchief, praise Towley from South Park, and yeah. Be well, be happy, be safe, and above all, be intelligent. Okay, get educated. That's fine, but intelligence is what makes you alpha, right? If you have education, you can still be a fucking sponge, basically, or something that's used or manipulated or tricked. Education isn't shit. Einstein wasn't who he was because he was all education. He was intelligence that chose to go with education as his thing, basically. And scientists are all like, oh, it's education. No, 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 no. You can be as brainful as you want. You end up following people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's a dumbass, that fucking idiot Kaku, most scientists, predators that look like Jeffrey Epstein. I forgot his name, but you get a bad bunch of people. You get people that believe math is real, or that time is real, or that dimensions are real, right? You get fucking idiots that are talking about wormholes and all this bullshit. And it's like, dude, like, there's kids starving in Africa. Why are we trying to build towards a thing that's not real? It's not real. Why are you thinking about it? Why are we spending man hours and money on this bullshit? Anyways, I just want to see reality do well. That's it. I don't have any personal gain of anything. All I'm trying to do is educate people, make people more aware, to make them woke, you niggers. I don't care about the word. It's just a fucking word, you stupid bitch. You fucking faggot. Like, it's just a word. We're red, blue, and we're white. Red, white, blue. Okay? You can have your context and feel one way, and have a context and feel another way. But at the end of the day, we need to have that discussion. And if you're afraid of the word, we can't talk about it. You don't decide by context. Again, I graduated. Not from your fucking schools, but from success. Again, there was a saying in a guild in World of Warcraft. I was a member of a guild, and in this guild, I think I was a high ranking. I don't remember. Like, basically, I was in the top 5. Towards the middle, I would say. Anyways, the point is, we had a saying in our guild, and we did clear end game, like molten core and shit back in the day. I was fucking like in 19 going through brain surgery, or radiation therapy rather. But we had a saying, and basically it was, Jesus Christ could die on the cross for our sins 2 times, and this guild would still go to hell. That was our motto, by the way. But anyways, be well, be happy, be safe, peace.